Tonight, we interview Interim President Dr. Charles Patterson for the first time. That and more right now on SUTV News. Good evening and welcome to SUTV News. I'm Adam Beam, and I'm joined by the Interim President of Shippensburg University, Dr. Charles Patterson. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Adam. It's a pleasure to be here.
Well, I know the university has a lot of questions, and I'm sure they're excited to hear some of your answers. So, first question I have for you here. How have you adjusted to life here at SHIP? You know, you're coming from Mansfield University, you served as president there. How have you sort of adjusted to, you know, just life on campus and sort of the university itself?
I think in the fall of this year, it's an adjustment for a lot of people because we have so many students that are back on campus, we're back to face-to-face instruction, we're back to a level of engagement that we haven't seen in almost 2 years. So being back on campus as a president means we're engaged in more activities, we're meeting face-to-face with our leadership teams and with stakeholders, with faculty and students. So it is a bit of a return to normal to the extent that normal involves masks, right? But it is a return to normal for universities, and that is exciting to be a part of again.
You know, it is really exciting to be back to normal. So, speaking of Mansfield University, real quick, how does SHIP compare to Mansfield? I'm not as familiar with the university as I'm sure you are. Just how does it compare, like, student-wise, the atmosphere of the campus, just sort of information like that?
Mansfield is a smaller institution of about 1,500 students. Shippensburg is a little bit bigger by a little under 6,000 students. And so the changes that you see there are of different magnitude, just with the student body, the number of academic programs. Mansfield is a bit different in its topography, built on a hill with 22,000 steps to get around campus. Sometimes you feel like you're going uphill both ways. But it's part of that culture of campus that's different, say in Mansfield, than it is in Shippensburg. Every university has its own culture, its own traditions, its own sense of school spirit, if you will. Shippensburg and Mansfield, you can compare institutions across PASSHE. They're all, again, a little bit different. But what we find in SHIP here is just a different culture of engagement that we have with faculty and with our communities. There's a lot of opportunity that we see here at Shippensburg as we look to advance the university forward. And a lot of caring people, both at Mansfield and Shippensburg. You know, the individual achievements of our students and our faculty are what make PASSHE institutions the institutions that they are. It's their reputation. And so as president, my goal is to make sure that wherever I'm at, whether it's Mansfield or whether it's here at Shippensburg, that we are investing in our students and in our faculty so we can continue to move the university forward.
All right. So one of the things you spoke about is involvement. How has your involvement on campus impacted your relationships with the students, the faculty, the staff, just like your involvement on campus?
Well, I think you're going to find that Colleen and I are pretty actively involved in everything that goes on campus. You know, it's one of the benefits, so to speak, of being a president within the PASSHE system is that you're required to live on campus. And I say a benefit because for the ability to walk out the door and be immediately engaged in what's going on campus is something that you don't find on other university campuses sometimes. And so you'll find that Colleen and I are engaged every evening throughout the day with the events that are going on campus with students, with faculty, with our donors, with our alumni, all those stakeholders that come to campus. But that also means we're going out and visiting them now as we emerge from the restrictions of the pandemic. We're out visiting our alumni, our stakeholders, where they live. For example, we just got back last night from Harrisburg where we attended a Pennsylvania Chamber of Commerce event and met with many of our businesses that are part of the Pennsylvania Chamber of Commerce. So going out where now our stakeholders are is the next step as we emerge from the pandemic.
All right. You know, it is important to get involved. Why do you feel it's most important to have, you know, this interaction, like this engagement, this healthy relationship with the campus community and with your students, with your faculty, and just why do you feel that's most important?
It aligns with my leadership style. And our faculty and our staff and our students have heard this of me, and that is the tenets of being transparent, inclusive, and enhancing communications so that we all understand the opportunities and the challenges that exist, that we are being transparent in the way that we lead institutions, and we're being inclusive through our governance structures to ensure that everyone has a voice in the future direction of the university. So being present is just a part of that formula, if you will. The next part of that formula is communication styles, how we communicate either written, through email, or verbal, in the kinds of conversations that we're having here today. That transparency is part of my leadership style.
So, the semester's still young, and, we have the spring semester hopefully on campus as well. But what are your main goals for the university this semester? Well,
even before I arrived, I had a number of transition meetings with stakeholders, with alumni and donors and trustees and students and faculty and staff, individually and within groups. That process continues throughout the fall as I meet with our stakeholders, as we learn more about the opportunities to move the university forward, academic, non-academic, and some of the needs that our students have. All of those voices need to be heard as we develop our strategic plan. All of those voices and inputs are very important to how we will move together as an institution. So a large part of the time that I'm spending right now is through assessment. You'll see some restructuring of different organizational structures on campus to align with the mission, to align with some opportunities that may be presented to us in the future. And my engagement doesn't happen just here on campus and within our communities, but also at the state level through our Pennsylvania's State System of Higher Education, or PASHE.
All right. Now, I think those are some very admirable goals, and I'm excited to see them moving forward with the university. Now, what excites you most about being president of the university here?
Being a president is a unique job. Nobody goes to president school, right, to be a president. And what I really like about it, what excites me about it, is it's different every single day. Today I'm here speaking with you. Yesterday I was in Harrisburg meeting with some of our stakeholders. Tomorrow I'll be doing something completely different, but all aligned with moving the institution forward, all aligned with being a strong advocate for Shippensburg University. And that's the role of the president, to really be outward-facing and inward-facing, but outward-facing to make sure that our story is being told, that we're advocating for resources, and we're advocating for the role that this institution serves in our communities.
All right. Now you could say, we just have one more question for you here, but you could say it's a very similar question. What has been your favorite thing about being president so far?
Just the warm welcome that I've received at Shippensburg. I take this role as a president very seriously. It's one I'm very familiar with. And the warm welcome that I've received from our students, from our faculty and our staff has been gratifying and reinforces that Colleen and I have made the right decision to come to Shippensburg.
Well, we were very happy to welcome you, and we are very happy to have you here. And once again, I want to thank you, President Patterson, for joining us here.
Thank you, Adam.
It has been a pleasure sitting down and talking to you and getting to hear what our university can expect moving forward this semester and onward. We really appreciate your time, but thank you for watching us here on SUTV News. I'm Adam Beam, and be sure to follow us on all our social media at SUTV News, and check out our website at sutvnews.org. We're back with more content next week, but until then, good night.